like to ask you if you could relate an experience of divinity within yourself.
The reason why it has not come into everybody's experience is because everybody believes something. The only thing that I have done with myself is, I have remained uneducated. Yes, remained uneducated. That means not getting identified with your parentage, with your family, with your religion, with your culture, with the philosophies floating around, with the politics, with stuff happening around you. You can be involved, but you're not identified. Once you're not identified, it is natural for human intelligence to turn inward and find this naturally. But because we have ready-made conclusions, we know where God is, of course, we know His name, we know His wife's name, we know how many children He has, we know His birthday, we know what He likes for His birthday. This is a serious problem. But you don't know a damn thing about yourself. As I already told you, the only and only thing that you can experience is this life is what happens within you. You cannot experience what happens here. You can only experience what happens here. If you see this, you know this only the way it's projected in your mind, isn't it? There is no other way to know it. But belief gives you an outlet from this. If you understand, if you don't believe anything, if you don't disbelieve anything, naturally every human being would have turned inward. Because they believe, they're looking heavenward. If you don't make these conclusions, the nature of human intelligence is, it will naturally understand the seat of your experiences within you. If you… right now, the way you're seeing the world is, your mind is like a mirror, it is reflecting all this. You're not seeing it here, you're seeing it within. So this mirror is showing you everything. Don't believe it is a plain mirror, many distortions, but still it is showing things. But it never shows you who you are. You can see this one and this one and that one and that one and that one, but you cannot see this one because this one is behind the mirror. You must do one simple thing. I don't know if you will attempt this, but you try this. If you pay attention, right now you're sitting, sitting for 2 hours already, this is happening. When you stand up, a certain pleasantness spreads through you, not the relief of the muscles. Something deeper, if you notice, a certain pleasantness happens. Or you've been standing for a long time, you sit down, a certain pleasantness happens. Or let's say you've been thirsty, you drink a glass of water, not the coolness of water, not the thirst going away, much deeper down a pleasantness happens. You lie down in your bed after a full day, you will see a certain pleasantness spreads through you. You wake up in the morning, certain pleasantness spreads through you. Because you're in a constant state, as I said, mental diarrhea, you don't notice anything. I'm saying pay little attention. Today, when you go home for dinner, wherever you go for dinner, don't eat till you're really hungry. Then food comes, wait. You really want to eat right now, just wait for 2 minutes, just look at the food, wait, then slowly eat. When the food goes into you, you will see the entire body responds in a certain way, certain pleasantness spreads through you. You keep paying attention to this. Right now, it's not that you're completely ignorant of this, but generally most people don't stay with this pleasantness for more than 2 to 3 seconds. You manage to stay there, let's say 12 to 15 seconds. Within a few days, you will be on the other side of the mirror and you will not ask me this question. You will know what it means to live with the divine. Right now you're living on the wrong side of the mirror, seeing multiple images, a kaleidoscope happening, but you can never see yourself or the nature of your existence.
Today, I'm going to share with you a very, very powerful technique with which you can catch a glimpse of your divine conscious nature. You can catch a glimpse of the real you beyond this body-mind complex. You will be pleasantly surprised to know that this technique wouldn't take more than 15 seconds of yours. Yes, you heard that right. This technique wouldn't take more than 15 seconds of yours. Now, you cannot say that you are extremely busy and that you cannot take out time to practice it, which is usually the excuse given by people to avoid meditation. Right? You could also call it a meditation. Many people have got a glimpse through this technique. Many masters have used it on their disciples successfully, especially George Gudjief, who made it extremely popular in the West. This technique has been very popular among Buddhist Llamas as well. The source of this technique is Vigan Bharav Tantra. Vigan Bharav Tantra is a spiritual masterpiece. You can call it an encyclopedia of meditation, as it contains all the meditation techniques that are available to mankind. And this particular technique that I'm going to share with you today is one among them. So now, I will tell you the technique and then explain it to you. So here is the technique. When you feel an impulse to do something, stop. I will repeat. When you feel an impulse to do something, stop. So this is the technique. What it means is, when you feel like doing something, let's say you want to have a glass of water because you're feeling extremely thirsty. So here, the extreme thirst is the impulse. So when you are about to lay your hands on a glass of water to quench your thirst, stop right then and there. Stopping means becoming dead, becoming absolutely still in body and mind. And don't even breathe at that very moment. And this will create the gap between the real divine conscious you and the body. How does it happen? When you have an impulse to do something, what it means is that you have energy in you that wants to move out through the body. In this case, you are thirsty. So the energy wants to move out through your hand to pick up a glass of water. So when you stop, when you become absolutely still in body and mind, you have stopped that energy at that very moment. And as you know, energy can never be static. Energy is always in movement. That's why it's called energy. If it is static, it cannot then be called energy. So once you have become still in body, then there is energy within you which wants to move out. But now it's not finding channels to move out because you have become still, almost dead, not even breathing. So what it does is it starts moving right within you. See, energy, either it can move out or it can move in. As I told you, it can never remain static. So when you become absolutely still in body, it has no way of moving out. So it has to move in, and it starts moving within you towards your center. And the sudden change in the direction of energy, which was earlier moving out but now moving in, creates a gap between the body and the real conscious divine you. And you can maintain stillness in body for 10 to 15 seconds. But remember one thing, for this technique to work, your impulse should be authentic. Like if you're not feeling thirsty and you want to have a glass of water and you stop, then it wouldn't work because there is no energy within you. Impulse means there is an upsurge of energy within you. There is a rush of energy within you. So without an impulse, there is no energy. And without energy, how can the gap be created? So just see whether the impulse is authentic or not. You can do it with any action. You can do it with any impulse. When you're feeling hungry, you can practice it with hunger. Let's say you're feeling extremely hungry and there is this delicious food right in front of you. And you are about to take a morsel. You're about to take a bite. But as your hand touches the food, you stop for a few seconds. Absolutely dead and still, not even breathing. So the energy starts to move in towards the center and the gap is created. You can practice this technique whenever there is any emotional outburst within you, especially with anger that you feel within. Because anger is a tremendous amount of energy within you. Anger is pure, innocent energy. It is neither good nor bad. You can call it good or bad only after looking at the results. But when it is within you, it is just pure energy. Pure, innocent energy. So when you're feeling this sudden rush of anger within you, stop right then and there. And this tremendous energy which could have moved out, which could have been so much destructive, will now move towards the center of your being. And if you do it the right way, it will just fill you with absolute joy and bliss. You will feel refreshed and revitalized. You can do it when you have any sexual impulse or with any authentic impulse for that matter. George Gudjief, one of the greatest masters of the 20th century, he used this technique on his disciples. He would ask his disciples to dance in groups and they would keep dancing. And then suddenly he would say, "Stop." And then they would have to stop. They would have to stop in whatever posture they were in, even if it was extremely uncomfortable. Because if you try to come in the comfortable position before stopping, you miss the whole point. So let's say if a leg of one dancer was in the air and the other leg was in the floor, then he would remain in that position when the master said stop. Because when you try to come in the comfortable position before stopping, the energy that was to move back towards the center with a sudden stopping would actually move into that movement when you try to come into comfortable position. So this technique wouldn't work then. See, you have to keep three things in mind when you practice this technique. Firstly, the impulse has to be genuine. It has to be authentic. Second thing is, you should not plan this stopping. Suppose you're feeling thirsty and you start thinking, "Oh, I'm feeling thirsty, so now I will have a glass of water, and when I will have it, I will stop." If you do that, then you're missing the whole point. The stopping has to be sudden. And finally, when you have stopped, you should not wait for the glimpse. Because if you are waiting for the glimpse, you are moving into thoughts. So don't even think about having a glimpse. Just stop. That's it. If the stopping is genuine, it will work wonders in your life. It's not that you should do it only with the impulses like hunger, thirst, anger, and so on. You can also do it when you are in the middle of thinking. You are thinking about something and you stop. You are in your office thinking about something, you stop. Maybe you are brooding over your past or thinking about your future, and in the middle of these thoughts, you stop. And as you know, thoughts are nothing but pure energy, right? So when you stop the right way, with the body absolutely still as if dead, it has the power to bring about the shift in consciousness. It has the power to give you a glimpse of your divine conscious nature. And with just one glimpse, your whole life changes forever. One single glimpse of your divine nature transforms your whole life. You then no longer remain the same person that you were before the glimpse. So try this powerful technique, the stop technique, which does not last more than 10-15 seconds. You can do it as many times as you want during the day, but make sure that your impulse is genuine. You stop suddenly without any planning, and you don't expect any results from it.